Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 134 of my brand new Comics Haul series, where I show you guys all the new books that I pick up at my LCS every week. So I've got 7 issues in total here. One of them I think is from a couple weeks ago, but some good new releases. We've got a couple really big ones from Marvel. I've got a couple independent, so let's just get right into it here with one of the biggest releases of the week for sure. We've been looking forward to this one for a long time now, but we got Spider-Boy #1. So supposedly a new ongoing series. We'll see whether that actually pans out or not, but I bet the sales on this are going to go crazy, right? Because Spider-Boy has been just such a breakout character ever since he debuted in the Dan Slott Spider-Man series, which now I guess Dan Slott is dedicating his time to this series as well as the new Superior Spider-Man relaunch. Artwork is looking pretty clean in here, is what you'd expect from a Spider-Man comic, and it looks like we actually still have Peter Parker involved as well as Spider-Boy. What we know about the character so far, we've gotten kind of an origin in the Spider-Man series that he debuted in. We know that he's like this alternate timeline version of like Spider-Man's sidekick that Peter Parker never knew actually existed, but he actually has a whole history that he remembers. His name is Bailey Briggs, that's his secret identity, and we're just getting more and more details on how he's like actually more genetically similar to a spider than any other kind of Spider-Man persona has ever been before. Looks like we got Rhino getting involved here, and I was seeing that there's also, there's a backup story that it looks like they have in this first issue. We'll see about that. I mean, Dan Slott honestly is one of my favorite writers for Marvel. He's been with them for a super long time. I know his Spider-Man run was a little bit controversial. Not everyone loved that, but I'm down to see what he does with Spider-Boy. Some people are saying it's a little bit silly or whatever, but there's some speculation behind it no matter what, right? Next up, though, the other big Marvel release of the week. We got Ultimate Universe. This is #1. It's just a one-shot, right? So they announced 3 new Ultimate Universe titles. I made a video on that, so if you want to check that out, feel free to. I go down, the whole list of creators and all that for the new titles. But spinning out of this, which was already kind of prefaced by the whole Ultimate Invasion series, right? Setting up this new Ultimate Universe, we've got an Ultimate Spider-Man ongoing, an Ultimate Black Panther, and an Ultimate X-Men. So like an interesting new lineup, right? Let's look at the interior artwork here, though. We've got Jonathan Hickman writing this one-shot, and then he's also going to be writing Ultimate Spider-Man. So I think maybe Spider-Man is going to be like kind of a flagship for Ultimate Universe. And yeah, I mean, not too many details revealed on this so far, right? We're getting more of a look into what the deal is actually going to be, hopefully. In this one-shot, we have Thor being introduced. We don't have any announcement for an Ultimate Thor series yet, so honestly, it kind of looks like whatever's happening in this one-shot isn't very related to the actual new series we're going to be getting. Maybe this one-shot is just going to be more kind of like world building, because it really seems like this new version of the Ultimate Universe is going to be just something totally different than the past Ultimate Universe or than anything we've ever seen, honestly, at Marvel. It's just a completely alternate universe, right? So I'm excited for it. We'll see. I'll give each of the new series a try. Some of them I'm a little bit unsure of compared to the other ones, but we'll see about that. It's Ultimate Universe #1. Next up, Marvel's big ongoing event, right? We've got a Fall of X tie-in. This is X-Men #28. We've got Joshua Cassara back on the artwork for this one. So, as you guys know, we've been watching the channel for a few months at this point. I hopped back into X-Men stuff for Fall of X. I picked up the Hellfire Gala one-shot, and obviously it's all been spiraling out since then. And I've been really liking it. I mean, I'm only getting like some of the biggest titles that you really need to read to understand the scope of everything. And now we know this is all leading to another like House of X and Powers of 10 style series that are going to be like crossing over every month to really close off the Krakoan era and open up whatever the next thing is going to be, which we don't have any details on yet, so we've still got a long ways to go with the Krakoan era. A lot of people are saying it outlasted its welcome. I honestly agree, because I kind of gave up on it a couple years in and then ended up coming back to it now that their status quo is changing so much. I won't say much more than that. There's a lot of betrayals going on, a lot of double crossing and stuff, as mutants are still fighting against Orcus and seeing if they can stage a comeback. So I'm liking it so far. X-Men is probably like the flagship of Fall of X, right? That's pretty good. Next up, another ongoing team book. This is the Avengers #7. So Jed McKay's run has been really good so far, in my opinion. He's one of my favorite writers, so I knew that he would kill it on Avengers. The idea so far, though, is that Kang the Conqueror came to the Avengers like super injured, right? He's really in a demeaned state that they've never seen him in before. Warning the Avengers about these tribulation events of like supervillain teams or like world-ending events that are going to be happening in the future, so that the Avengers are going to be able to prepare for them. Crazy looking artwork. I don't know what's going on here. Is this like a flash forward or like an alternate reality where things go wrong or something? I'm not sure, because this looks insane. But great artwork on this too, really flashy colors and everything. There's this new concept of the impossible city that's interesting, which is like this city that the Ashen Combine, the supervillain team from the last story arc, like inhabited, but the Avengers were able to set it free, so now they have like a new headquarters, like a whole city patrolling space, right? So interesting ideas here, new story arc starting up with this one, and I'm excited to see where they go with it. Really big events happening in this ongoing so far. I recommend that one. Next up, we got another Jed MacKay series. This is the last one I got from Marvel this week. It's Doctor Strange number 9. I will say, Jed MacKay is running 3 different ongoing series for Marvel at this point, right? But each one really does have their own, uniqueness to them. Like, none of the characters even cross over. He could have put, like, Moon Knight and Doctor Strange in the Avengers, but he didn't. And I know that he's going to be, like, crossing over all of them in the Blood Hunt event soon enough. I'm interested to see what he does with that, but wow, the artwork is insane in this one. The colors are popping. It's very creative. I'd say this is like the best drawn Doctor Strange series we've had in a really long time. It's really getting back to the weirdness of Marvel magic, and taking us into this, I guess, unpredictable world, right? That Marvel magic should be. So this makes it a little more interesting. Magic in general is not my favorite trope in any kind of medium, just because it's so random. And there's no rules to it, right? So this is making it more interesting. Doctor Strange fighting his own like war general version of himself in the future and trying to shut that down. Interesting plot line. It's all been building up over time, which is what I like about that series. Next up, this is one I actually got for free. My LCS was giving this out, I guess as like an incentive for people to want to try it out, who have a pull list at the shop. This is like the 3rd independent comic that they've been giving out for free for pull list owners or whatever. For in like the last month, I feel like this is like a new recurring trend. Maybe it really is a good marketing scheme or whatever to get people more interested to just hand out free copies of the first issue. Let me know if you guys are also getting that chance to get free copies of books like independents from your LCS. I'm wondering what other kind of places they're doing that in. The artwork looks cool in here. I don't even think I ever said the name. Unnatural Order. So this is from Vault Comics. I have not read very many Vault things. This might be like the first or second book I've ever picked up from them. Yeah, art is actually looking really cool in here. So I am always willing to give a new series a shot. Looking forward to this. We'll see how it is. Maybe I'll add this to my pull list if it's any good. Lastly, though, I've got one issue from Image Comics. I'll go over this one quickly because it came out a couple weeks ago. But I just got my copy in. It's Kill Your Darlings number 2. Not sure how many people are reading this one. I only picked it up because the writers are these podcast hosts that I've listened to. They're like collaboration with Ryan Stegman. They had a podcast with him for a while. That was pretty funny. So they always talked about like getting into comics and really wanting to write their own series in that podcast, and now they're finally doing it. The first issue was intriguing. I liked where they were going with it. Some violent artwork right here. But it has something to do with this little girl who's like, constructed a really elaborate imaginary world that she's like to play in despite like her life struggles and her mom struggling to pay rent and working a bunch of jobs and all that. And now there's some sort of like evil affecting the imaginary world. So it's like a kid's story with kids' characters mixed in with like a really violent kind of gruesome thing. So a weird blend of genres, but I feel like they've got a good idea behind this concept here that if they continue to write it well, they'll execute. Really not much happened last issue, so I think we're going to get some more, fleshing out of the world, some more exposition and everything, and more of a setup for what's actually going to happen in this series with this issue. We'll see how long that one goes. I'm not sure how many people are picking it up. But those were the 7 issues I picked up this week. Let me know if you got into the same ones that I did, or which was your favorite this week if you already read them down in the comment section below. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure to do that too, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.